Your mind is your greatest weapon, but it can also be your greatest enemy. It will lie to you. It will try to convince you that you're tired, that you've done enough, that you should stop. If you don't take control of it, it will control you. Most people lose in life not because they aren't capable, but because they let their minds dictate their actions instead of the other way around. They listen to that voice that tells them to take it easy, to rest, to quit when things get hard. But if you want to be truly strong, you have to master your mindset. You have to become the one in control, silencing the weakness inside of your own head and pushing forward no matter what. Mastering your mindset starts with awareness. You have to recognize when your mind is trying to pull you back into comfort, when you wake up and don't feel like training, when you hit a wall in your work and want to take a break, when you face adversity and start making excuses. These are the moments when you have to catch yourself. Instead of giving in, you have to override those thoughts. You have to build the habit of rejecting weakness the second it appears. The more you do this, the stronger your mind becomes. Over time, you develop a mentality where quitting isn't even an option, where excuses no longer hold any power over you. One of the best ways to strengthen your mindset is to push yourself beyond what you think is possible. Most people have no idea what they're truly capable of because they never go past their self-imposed limits. They stop when things get uncomfortable instead of pushing further. But if you want to be strong, you have to break that pattern. When you think you're at your limit, go further. If you plan to run 5 miles, run 7. If you're exhausted during a workout, push for a few more reps. If you think you can't handle something mentally, keep going anyway. Every time you do this, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. You start realizing that your limits are just illusions created by your mind. Another key part of mastering your mindset is learning to detach from emotions when necessary. Emotions can be useful, but they can also weaken you if you let them dictate your actions. Fear, doubt, frustration. These feelings will come, but they don't have to control you. The strong know how to acknowledge their emotions without letting them interfere with their mission. If you let emotions dictate your choices, you'll always be a slave to them. But if you train yourself to act based on discipline instead of feelings, you become unstoppable. One way to build this mental toughness is by exposing yourself to challenges on purpose. Seek out things that test you. Put yourself in situations where you have to fight through resistance. The more you expose yourself to difficulty, the less it affects you. Over time, you'll notice that things that used to stress you out or make you want to quit no longer have the same power over you. You'll develop a mindset where adversity isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. Most people spend their lives letting their minds control them. They let fear stop them. They let self-doubt hold them back. They let the discomfort of pushing themselves keep them from reaching their full potential. But you don't have to be like most people. You can train yourself to take control of your thoughts, to push past your limits, and to develop a mindset that nothing can break. When you master your mind, you master your life. Life is tough. It's unforgiving. And if you're not prepared, it will break you. But there's a way to rise above by becoming cold and strong. Not cold in the sense of heartless, but cold as in unshakable, immovable. Someone who doesn't flinch when life hits hard. Here are 7 ways to build that mindset. Life isn't meant to be easy. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. If you want to be truly strong, mentally, physically, and emotionally, you have to embrace discomfort. This means seeking out the hard things, putting yourself in situations where you struggle, and refusing to take the easy path. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain, looking for shortcuts, but comfort is a trap. It keeps you weak. It keeps you from reaching your full potential. If you want to be cold and strong, you have to flip your mindset and learn to chase discomfort instead of running from it. When you embrace discomfort, you rewire your brain to handle adversity. Every time you push yourself through something hard, you get tougher. Your pain tolerance increases. Your ability to endure suffering expands. Suddenly, the things that used to break you no longer even shake you. But this isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process, and it starts with small choices. Wake up earlier than you want to. Train when you don't feel like it. Take cold showers. Push yourself in ways that make you uncomfortable. Over time, you build a calloused mind. One that doesn't look for the easy way out, but instead seeks out the challenge. Discomfort is the gateway to growth. Think about it. When you lift weights, your muscles tear before they grow stronger. When you run long distances, your lungs burn before they expand their capacity. Your mind works the same way. The more you expose it to stress, pain, and adversity, the tougher it becomes. People who avoid discomfort never grow. They remain soft, fragile, and easily broken by the smallest challenges. They complain about the cold, the heat, the long hours, and the struggle. They let discomfort control them. But the strong, they control discomfort. They welcome it because they understand that suffering is the path to strength. There will be moments when your mind screams at you to stop. You'll be tired, sore, and mentally drained. But that's exactly when you need to push harder. When you reach that point where most people quit, that's where true growth happens. Most people never see their real potential because they stop at 40% of their capacity. They think they're done, but they have so much more left in the tank. If you can train yourself to push past that point, you'll unlock a level of strength most people will never experience. This applies to every part of life, whether it's training, work, relationships, or personal growth. The principle remains the same. The harder the path, the greater the reward. The struggles you face aren't there to break you, they're there to build you. The discomfort you feel isn't a punishment, it's a gift. It's shaping you into someone who can withstand anything. The problem is that most people don't see it that way. They complain, they make excuses, they search for comfort when they should be chasing pain. But the ones who embrace discomfort, who lean into the struggle, who refuse to quit, those are the ones who rise. So ask yourself, are you running from discomfort or are you embracing it? Are you choosing the easy road or are you forcing yourself down the hard one? Every day you have a choice. You can stay the same, avoiding discomfort and remaining weak, or you can seek out pain and grow stronger. The answer is simple. If you want to be truly cold and strong, you must make discomfort your best friend. You must train your mind to see struggle as an opportunity, not a burden. Because the moment you stop fearing discomfort is the moment you become unstoppable. Discipline is what separates the strong from the weak. It is the foundation of everything. Without it, talent means nothing. Motivation fades and goals remain unachieved. Most people rely on motivation to get things done, but motivation is temporary. It comes and goes, depending on how you feel in the moment. If you only act when you feel motivated, you'll never accomplish anything great. Because there will be days when you don't feel like showing up. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline means doing what needs to be done no matter how you feel. It means waking up early when your body wants to sleep. It means training when you're tired, working when you're uninspired, and pushing forward when everything in you is screaming to stop. Discipline is what turns ordinary people into champions, because while everyone else is waiting to feel motivated, the disciplined ones are already putting in the work. Developing discipline starts with making a commitment to yourself. You have to decide that quitting is not an option, that no matter what obstacles come your way, you will keep going. It's easy to be disciplined when things are going well, but real discipline is built when things get hard. It's in the moments when you're exhausted, unmotivated, or facing failure that your discipline is truly tested. The people who succeed in life are the ones who push through these moments, who keep moving forward when everything inside them wants to stop. That's the difference between winners and losers. Winners don't listen to their feelings, they listen to their mission. One of the best ways to build discipline is to create non-negotiable habits. This means setting rules for yourself and following them no matter what. If you say you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., then you wake up at 5 a.m. No excuses, no snooze button. If you say you're going to work out every day, then you do it, even when you're sore or tired. If you commit to reading or working on your goals daily, then you make it happen, no matter what distractions come your way. The key is consistency. The more you stick to your commitments, the stronger your discipline becomes. Over time, these actions become automatic, and you no longer have to rely on willpower. You just do them because that's who you are. Another important aspect of discipline is learning to silence the voice in your head that tells you to take the easy way out. That voice will always be there, trying to convince you that you've done enough, that you deserve a break, that it's okay to slack off just this once. But once you give in to that voice, it becomes louder. Every time you let yourself off the hook, you make it easier to quit in the future. The strongest people have trained themselves to ignore that voice, to push past their feelings and do what needs to be done no matter what. It's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. Discipline is also about taking control of your time and eliminating distractions. Too many people waste hours scrolling through social media, watching TV, or doing things that add no value to their lives. If you want to be disciplined, you have to take full control of your environment. Cut out anything that makes you weaker. Surround yourself with people who push you, who challenge you, who hold you accountable. Create a routine that prioritizes growth and productivity and stick to it no matter what. At the end of the day, discipline is about proving to yourself that you are in control. It's about pushing yourself beyond what's comfortable and refusing to make excuses. It's about showing up every single day and doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. That's how you build true strength. That's how you separate yourself from the rest. Most people spend their lives comparing themselves to others. They look at what other people have, what other people are doing, and they measure their own worth based on someone else's success. This mindset is a trap. It keeps you weak. It keeps you distracted. If you ever want to become cold and strong, you have to stop worrying about others and start competing with yourself. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Comparison is a waste of time. There will always be someone stronger, faster, smarter, or more successful than you. If you spend your energy focusing on them, you'll never reach your full potential. Instead of looking at what someone else is doing, turn your focus inward. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? Have I pushed myself harder today than I did the day before? That is the only thing that matters. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that you're only seeing a small piece of their journey. You don't know the struggles they've been through, the hours they've put in, the pain they've endured. All you see is the final product. And when you measure yourself against that, you set yourself up for failure. Instead of focusing on what someone else has achieved, focus on what you can do right now to improve. Your only competition is yourself. This mindset shift changes everything. When you stop worrying about others and start focusing on your own progress, you become unstoppable. You wake up every day with a purpose to be better than you were yesterday. You stop making excuses because you know that the only person standing in your way is you. You stop looking for shortcuts because you realize that real growth only comes from hard work. The best athletes in the world, the strongest warriors, the most successful people, they aren't worried about the competition. They aren't looking at what the next person is doing. They are locked in on their own race. They know that the only way to win is to outwork their past self. That's why they push themselves harder than anyone else. That's why they never settle. Think about where you are right now. Are you the best version of yourself? Or are you holding back because you're too busy looking at someone else's progress? If you're not where you want to be, stop blaming the world and start taking responsibility. The only way to get better is to put in the work, not just when you feel like it, not just when things are easy, every single day. This doesn't mean you should never acknowledge others. It's okay to be inspired by people who are ahead of you. Use them as motivation, not as a measuring stick. Look at what they've done and learn from them, but never let their success make you doubt yourself. Their journey is theirs. Your journey is yours. Stay focused on what you need to do to level up. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with yourself, you take control of your life. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop feeling sorry for yourself and start putting in the work. You realize that you don't have to be the best in the world. You just have to be the best version of yourself. And if you commit to that, if you wake up every day determined to improve, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So forget about the competition, forget about what anyone else is doing, focus on you, work harder than you did yesterday, push past your own limits, hold yourself to a higher standard, because in the end, the only person you're racing against is the person in the mirror. And every single day, that person should be getting stronger, colder, and more unstoppable. Work ethic is what separates the weak from the strong. It's the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who stay average. Most people want success, but very few are willing to do what it takes. They talk about their goals, they dream about their future, but when it comes time to put in the work, they hesitate. They make excuses. They wait for motivation. That's why they never get anywhere. If you want to be different, if you want to be cold and strong, you have to develop an unbreakable work ethic. You have to show up every single day and outwork everyone around you, especially when no one is watching. True strength isn't built in front of an audience. It's built in the hours when no one is looking, when there's no one to impress, when it's just you versus your own mind. The strongest people in the world, the most disciplined athletes, the toughest warriors, they don't just work hard when the cameras are on. They don't just push themselves when they're being recognized. They do it when no one is there. When it's early in the morning and the rest of the world is asleep. When they're exhausted but still get up and put in the work. When there's no applause, no validation, nothing but the grind. That's what separates them from the rest. Most people only work hard when they feel like it. They go to the gym when they're motivated. They study when it's convenient. They put in effort when they know someone is watching. But that's not real discipline. That's not what builds an unstoppable mindset. If you only work hard when it's easy, you will never reach your full potential. Real discipline is doing the work even when you don't want to. It's pushing through exhaustion, boredom, and discomfort. It's choosing to be relentless, no matter what. You have to ask yourself a simple question. Are you willing to do what others won't? Because if the answer is no, then you will never be great. You will never separate yourself from the average. The truth is, most people don't have the discipline to show up every day and give 100%. They take shortcuts, they cheat themselves, they let their feelings dictate their effort. That's why they stay stuck. That's why they never break through. But if you're willing to push harder, if you're willing to sacrifice comfort and embrace the grind, there is nothing that can stop you. The key is consistency. Anyone can work hard for a day, anyone can push themselves for a short period of time, but real strength is built over months and years of relentless effort. It's built by showing up every single day whether you feel like it or not. It's built in those moments when you're tired, when you're sore, when your mind is screaming for rest, but you keep going anyway. Every time you push through, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you refuse to quit, you build mental toughness. The hardest workers in the world aren't necessarily the most talented. They're just the ones who refuse to stop. They keep going long after others have quit. They don't make excuses. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They put in the work day after day until the results speak for themselves. That's the kind of mindset you need to develop. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for someone to push you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work for you. It's on you to build the discipline, to show up, to grind when no one is watching. Because in the end, effort is what separates the weak from the strong. And if you commit to giving everything you have every single day, you will become unstoppable. There is no such thing as an easy path to strength. The world is filled with people who want to be tough, who want to be successful, who want to be unbreakable. But when it comes time to face adversity, they crumble. They make excuses as they look for a way out instead of a way through. The truth is, hard times are inevitable. Life is going to hit you when you least expect it. It will test you, break you down, and push you to your limits. The difference between the weak and the strong is that the weak let hardships destroy them while the strong use them as fuel to become even tougher. Pain is the greatest teacher. Every struggle, every setback, every failure is an opportunity to grow. Most people don't see it that way. They complain when things get hard. They feel sorry for themselves when life doesn't go their way. But that mindset is exactly why they stay stuck. If you want to be cold and strong, you have to shift your perspective. You have to embrace suffering instead of avoiding it. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, see them as training. Every hardship you endure is another layer of armor. Every time you push through pain, instead of running from it, you become harder to break. The people who accomplish great things in life are not the ones who had an easy ride. They are the ones who faced the worst and refused to give up. Look at the toughest warriors, the strongest athletes, the most successful individuals. They all went through hell. They lost. They failed. They suffered, but they never let it stop them. They understood that every hardship was a test, and they used those experiences to make themselves stronger. That's the difference. Weak people let pain defeat them. Strong people let pain sharpen them. You have to stop looking for an easy life. Stop expecting things to go your way all the time. Hardships are a part of the process. If you're going through something tough right now, understand that it's shaping you. It's forging you into something better. But only if you let it. If you quit, if you run, if you give up at the first sign of struggle, you will never reach your full potential. The key is to stand firm in the face of adversity, to welcome challenges instead of fearing them, to say to yourself, this is making me stronger. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build by going through hard times and refusing to break. Every time life knocks you down, you have a choice, stay down or get back up. The weak stay down. They let their circumstances define them. The strong rise every single time. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how painful it is, they keep moving forward. That is the mindset you need to develop. No matter what happens, quitting is never an option. You have to become the kind of person who thrives in adversity. When things get tough, don't back down, lean into the challenge. When life tests you, show it that you cannot be broken. That's what separates those who succeed from those who fail. The ability to keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. The ability to stand tall when everything is falling apart. Most people will never reach this level of mental toughness because they are too afraid of suffering. But suffering is what makes you strong. It's what turns you into someone who cannot be shaken. If you want to be cold, if you want to be strong, you have to stop fearing hard times, start embracing them. Because in the end, it's not the easy moments that define you. It's the battles you fight and the pain you endure that turn you into something unstoppable.